Stacking money like 365. There's a lot of things on my mind. Stacking money like 365. There's a lot of things on my mind. Stacking money like 365. There's a lot of things on my mind. Stacking money like 365. I can't stop, these feelings taking over me. I can't stop, these feelings taking over me. I can't stop, these feelings taking over me. I can't stop, these feelings taking over me.
Good morning. Good morning, Imagivators. Welcome to Monday. Welcome to your new week. It's happening. We're here live. We're live every weekday morning, and we're doing it again because that's what we do on Imagivate Live. Are you new to the stream? Is this your first time? It's all right. Come on, dive in. This is what we do on Imagivate Live. We use our imaginations to excavate terrible ideas so that we can start our day full of coming up with not terrible ideas. That's what we do here. You are maybe a professional, you're maybe a creative professional, you may be set to go off and have to come up with a bunch of really great ideas today. Or maybe you are, I don't know, an accountant, or maybe you are a neurosurgeon. Probably probably need you to keep coming up with great ideas. See, what we're trying to do is we're come up with terrible ideas on Imagivate Live, because that frees our minds to come up with even better ideas throughout the day. So, whether you are working or you're still looking to try to find your next gig, or you are a stay-at-home super person who's trying to keep everything together, come on in. We have fun. We get our brains working. We get the energy juicing. And what we do is I jump right into some creative prompts, things that will get our brains triggered to come up with terrible ideas, and everybody just jumps into the stream and starts sending messages with terrible ideas. Get in here and do that with us. If you want to just lurk around a little bit to start, that's totally great, but the more people who pile in here to try to come up with terrible ideas, the better. Well, I'm glad to have you here. We've got a lot of stuff to talk about today. A lot of stuff actually happened over the last few days, and we're going to talk about that here. But just a couple of bits of news on Imagivate, the Imagivate network. Just so you know, we did some technical redevelopment. Maybe you noticed that slush of royalty-free music that we played at the beginning. We showed up on the radar. We got, we've been playing cool music, fun music every morning, copyrighted music, and we've been, dealing with the fact that the first half of the first third of the show gets kind of muted out in archives because we don't have rights to that music. Well, I kind of maybe got a few notes from the good folks at Twitch to maybe reconsider doing that. So anyway, part of it, more than anything, is experimenting with using copyright free music so that we don't get muted, and that you guys can hear this show, and that anybody who comes along isn't able to catch it live can actually catch all of the audio on the stream. So we did that. We did a little bit of software rebooting on the whole stream software, so things might be a little bit different, but hopefully a lot smoother. That's what we're doing. And there's more change ahead for Imagivate. I'm excited about how this is evolving so quickly. You've seen us doing experiments with things like the Q1 EMEA revenue forecast meeting that we did last week. We're going to be doing more of that stuff. If you didn't catch that, go check it out on the stream. That was a ton of fun. I'm going to keep getting new guests in here, and I'm going to continue to evolve this show because that was the whole point of doing this thing. Get up in the morning, do something before I start the day, and see where it can go. It's a test and learn, and you're part of that experiment, and I really, really appreciate having you in here. Well, let's get right down to it. We're going to jump in. Hey, Mrs. Duck, good morning. So glad to have you here. I hope you're ready to get your brain moving, Mrs. Duck, and I want you to stick in here. I want some Mrs. Duck level ideas. You're so ready. So ready. Let's do this thing. Let's do it. All right, let's jump over to the speed swirl. Come over here with me. Speed swirl's where we just get our jam on right out of the gate. We just start working. Aw, Emmy, good morning. Woohoo, glad to have you here. All right, folks, this is going to be a nerdy show this morning for a number of reasons. We're going to get to the news, and we're going to get to all that stuff. But what I want to show you is I mentioned to you Hyperloop. We talked about Hyperloop. It's Virgin's vacuum tube super fast speed rail. They did a test last week. It was successful. What you may not know is that Hyperloop was an idea that was born from Elon Musk, and he gave it to a friend on a napkin on a plane and was like, hey, I don't have enough time for this. Why don't you do something with it? That guy's name is something, and he hired one of Elon Musk's top engineers from SpaceX named Brogan Bam Brogan. That's this guy's name. Now, there's an interesting story behind all of this. Brogan Bam Brogan. Napkin ideas are the best ideas, Mrs. Duck. Correct. The very best terrible ideas always start on a napkin. So why am I talking about Brogan Bam Brogan? Because Brogan Bam Brogan is one of the greatest names in science of all time. How did he get that name? Well, originally he was Kevin Brogan. Then he married Bambi Lou, who actually ends up that she's like the sister of another investor in all of this. This whole thing is a crazy messed up story. You got to check this out because when they got married, they changed their names legally. They they combined their names, and he decided to be called Brogan, Bam Brogan, and I think she's Bambi Bam Brogan, potentially. So Brogan Bam Brogan then joined this Hyperloop group, except something terrible happened. There's a whole bunch of really lascivious sort of Silicon Valley kind of stuff that happened. And Brogan Bam Brogan was unceremoniously dismissed. But on his way out, he sued them all and opened up the floodgates to all these crazy stories about nepotism and like threats and stuff. And so Brogan Bam Brogan then started his own Hyperloop vacuum tube company called Arrivo, which now, since I've learned, has since gone under. A Reddit born company called Rloop recently bought all of the IP of Arrivo, which was going to be a competitor of Hyperloop. Man, this story is super twisted and awesome. But all I wanted to do for our speed swirl is come up with terrible ideas for scientist names, but awesome rock star scientist names. Terrible ideas, a la Brogan Bam Brogan. So, if you're playing at home, hey, Shepherd Josh, good morning. When a Hyperloop goes under, it's called a subway. Put that in your pipe and smoke it. Welcome. Good morning, Shepherd Josh, and thanks for the illumination there. So let's get to some really great names. You could start. So Brogan Bam Brogan, by the way, Brogan Bam Brogan is this dude who is he's very Bam Brogan-ish, as you can imagine. He's got this super like steampunk kind of look. He's got a giant handlebar mustache with kind of super cool guy hair. I mean, he does not look like a scientist, so to speak. He's always wearing like these like super sharp, like fitted, like custom suits with like very like super masculine-y kind of Brogan-y kind of clothing. So he's a character. Who are some Einstein Breinstein? Yes. Let's just take that motif. You could go all the livelong day with this. Einstein Breinstein. Mrs. Duck, thank you for checking in. Nice work. Bam. Terrible idea. Terrible name. Einstein Breinstein. All right. Brogan might be Mark Twain. Yeah, I don't know. He's got a little bit of Twainism in him, but not white hair, kind of dusty brown hair. I suggest you look this guy up. He actually, as Arrivo was going down, there were reports as employees were being kind of sort of escorted out of the building, that Brogan Bam Brogan had an axe that he kept in the office and would occasionally chop holes in the wall. And if you go to Brogan Bam Brogan's Twitter, you can see where he got that axe. He got it at Jeff Bezos's. I'm not making this stuff up. He got it at Jeff Bezos's Re-Mars conference in what was like sort of a half-day retreat where they went into the woods and made their own axes. This is real stuff. This is real science. It's really happening in front of us. Gaspar Smith Wolfstein. Good morning, Little B Fat Brain. Checking in with classic folks. Again, if you missed it, this from our Q1 EMEA meeting. Gaspar Smith Wolfstein was the scientist on that team, who, as we discovered, didn't have a lot of answers for the very controversial zombie plant epidemic that was going on, and potentially support sidecar. Good morning. Yep. You'll recall that went south really quick. How about Brick Petri dish. Ledge Bunsen. Crom Fearyton. Dr. Krim Grindles. That's a good one. Dr. Krim Grindles. Thank you, support sidecar. Neutrino Jones. Dave on base, 32. Good morning. Neutrino Jones. Oh, man, these things just write themselves, don't they? How about Luke Starkiller? That's a good one. Mark Twain. Mark Twain molecule. Terrible names. Let's see. We've got Chris Wheatley. Chris Wheatley, the time traveling doctor from Timeless Christmas on Hallmark Channel last night. Thank you, Timeless Channel show. Chris Wheatley, thank you, Emmy. Yeah, where is Matthias? Come on, he would love Luke Star. I know, I did that for him. Where is Matthias? Nowhere to be found. Maybe fell into a wormhole. Nucleo Schatzberg, gee whizmo. Good morning, Nucleo Schatzberg. Excellent. See how easy this is, folks? You just Dr. Science Meister. Dr. Science, is that his first name? Meister? Science P. Meister. John Scienceman. Thank you, support sidecar. Scientology. Okay. Good morning, Scott Holtzman. Nice one. Great job, everybody. Great job. Keep them coming. Yep, that is a good name, Mrs. Duck. We always get good stuff in our speed swirl. Thanks for coming in. So glad to have you here. All right, well, let's keep cruising along so we don't lose steam. First of all, thank you again to everybody who's been coming around. I'm so glad to have you in here. Phlegm Chemicalico. Nyquist Utso. All right, let's go over here because I want to talk about last week. Yesterday's most terrible idea from Friday. You know, if you saw this stream, I actually couldn't stop laughing, and nobody cracks me up more than my own kinfolk. I had my daughter Emmy Hitch on the show, and she came up with the most terrible idea. It still makes me laugh every time I think about it. We were doing interior design in someone's home. The idea was to put a giant portrait of Chip and Joanna Gaines on the wall, which makes me laugh in the first place. But Emmy plussed it up by saying, but it's Chip and Joanna Gaines in a nativity shot. And actually, what I was not able to capture quickly enough, because I was listening, but I wasn't listening well enough. Emmy's thought was actually that Joanna is the Virgin Mary, and that that Chip would be the baby. So Emmy, great job. And again, if you missed that stream, please go back and watch it in the archive. And if you don't think it's the best episode of Imagivate Live, I will fight you and other family members. And try me. All right. So great job, and glad to have Emmy. We'll have her back again sometime soon. Okay. So, did you catch the news over the weekend? It's very exciting. And you know, when I started with Brogan Bam Brogan, I was going to keep in on the science jam. So keep your science thoughts going, because we need them. We need them bad. So this weekend, SpaceX launched their rocket with 4 astronauts, and it was in the Dragon capsule. The Dragon is what they call that. How badass is that? Launched them to take them to the International Space Station. And you're saying to yourself, well, wait a minute. Didn't they do this back in the spring? Yes, they did. But this one was the first one that was not a test, because all the way up to the last one, they just were in test mode. Can we put humans in these things? Can we send humans into space with a commercial rocket? The answer is yes, and now they can do it ongoing. So this was the first sort of non-test, like, hey, this is our job, this is what we do, this is our mission. It was very exciting. It launched yesterday, safely got on this Apollo rocket. I think these are still Apollo rockets. Launched it into the atmosphere. The Dragon ejected from its stage 2 and stage 3 rockets or whatever it was. I wasn't following along as closely as I should have, but it was pretty awesome. And then merged with the International Space Station. By the way, they waited until the moment when the space station was perfectly in the orbit place that they needed it, so they could just shoot right up and just meet up with it in orbit. So killer. The International Space Station voted the worst looking space station in space right now. I mean, somebody want to take a swing at like making this thing look a little cooler? You know, maybe drop a few of those solar panels. I'm not sure. Now, here's the thing. If you're watching this, you also know that there was real drama, because guess who couldn't be there for the SpaceX launch? This guy. Elon Musk was sick. With COVID. He's COVID positive. And I started thinking, what happens if we lose Elon Musk? And I don't know where you sort out with Elon Musk. I mean, if you're a fan or not, but you got to give this guy credit. He's basically putting all of his time and energy, like the Hyperloop truly was an idea that he had just come up with and was like, I don't have enough time to do this. You guys do it. And in the meantime, he's been doing all of these things where he's putting his time and his money and other people's money and other people's time into trying to solve for the future, right? So we've got SpaceX, which, space travel, who knows where that's going to take us. Tesla, which is, trying to get rid of combustible engines, and then like a sub brand in Tesla is Solar City, where they're building all of these solar panels. He's got the Boring Company, where he's trying to take it all underground and take all of the pollution creating transit underground. He's got Neuralink, which is wet works, trying to get computers in our brains. I mean, this guy is definitely like thinking about the future. And my question is, how terrible can we make the future without Elon Musk? Let's put our brains together and figure out what the future looks like without Elon Musk in it. What does that look like? And so I thought, let's pop over here and let's talk about the future. The future. But a future without Elon Musk. If he stopped today, and let's say that like he had clauses in all of his company's contracts that should I perish, all of my companies will go with me. So everything goes away. SpaceX, Tesla, Solar City, Neuralink, OpenAI, or whatever that thing is he's doing, they all go away, and we have a future without Elon Musk. So what we might start thinking about, I saw Scott Holtzman threw Lex Luthor in there. Lex Luthor, if Lex Luthor becomes the next Elon Musk, who else? What are some big influencers out there? A Kanye West led future. That guy's worth $5 billion, by the way. Did you know that? 5B. What happens when like the next person swings in and is like, hey, I got this. Okay? I got the future. Don't worry. Lay it on me. What do we got? Yeah, Grimes will be, first of all, it will be a world where Grimes is single again. Grimes is Elon Musk's current partner, and by whom he has one of his many children. Grimes, on the market. That's definitely in the future. What else? Future sans Musk. Mad Max Hellscape. Okay. We can have a Mad Max Hellscape where finally everybody's like, yeah, you know what? Actually, the gasoline, that is the most important thing. Let's go. Gasoline and mother's milk. And everything in between in our Mad Max Hellscape. What else? We've got replace all companies with companies that have a sort of similar name. SpaceX becomes X Games. Okay, so one of our biggest eyes toward the future is X Games. Solar City, Circuit City. Bring back Circuit City. Okay, that future sounds like 2004, and I like it a lot. A Bezos-led future, retail everywhere. Yeah. So what happens when it's just drones, and you know how much I love to draw drones on this show. It's just drones dropping shit everywhere. It's just raining Keurig machines from the sky for everyone. The Bezos Amazon future. Water World War 3. Gee Whizmo. Nice. Water World War 3. Water World War 3. And you know what? It'd be nice if it was just a war with water and not nuclear holocaust. I think that would be good. Does Musk kind of bitcoins exist? Yeah, it's a good question. Does Musk have his own does he have his own currencies, his own cryptocurrency? I don't know. That's a good question. That's a terrible question, Mrs. Duck. Thank you. Musk crypto? Don't know. Be cool if he did. I bet he does. He must, right? We can go back and look at that chart. I think he's got a little bit of something in every industry. Musk's consciousness will transfer to a mech suit that emerges from the San Francisco Bay. Okay, cool. So we have in the San Francisco Bay a giant mech that has a Musk mech, a Mexc, a muck that has Elon Musk's consciousness and wreaks havoc on planet Earth. Okay, I like that. Let's see. To battle Godzilla. Yeah. So what is what's the word for that? What's the Japanese word for those giant animals? Those giant monsters? Somebody sling that back in the chat stream. We've had that before. Give up on innovation and go back to medieval times. Castles, caste systems, serfdom, Black Plague. Yes, medieval times. So future in medieval times. And we're not talking about the restaurant show that is delightful, by the way, but actual medieval times where people died by the age of 13, I think was the life expectancy. Okay, Ujako, good morning. Welcome. You think we would have the same future if it just happens 50 years later? Twitter will be a little less dumb. We might not have Twitter, right? Considering that the big accounts that are about to kind of fall off the map, Twitter might go bye-bye. And is that such a bad future? Who knows? We need Musk's head living. Yeah, I don't know if you could cryo freeze his head, or if you actually just like sort of Futurama him into an electro container and kind of keep talking to him. Kaiju, Kaiju, is that it? Kaiju. I would just love to see Elon Musk on his way out if he's like, hey, you know what? This COVID's starting to take control, and then he hits like Order 66, and bam, all of his companies turn into the mech creation company that he'd been like kind of Trojan horsing all along. So SpaceX, Tesla, everybody, like all the factory lines shift all of a sudden, and they make these giant kaiju super mechs that battle and destroy planet Earth. Let's see. We embrace anti-school. Okay. The death of capitalism. Yeah, there's all kinds of really bleak futures out there. What else is like if you had another celebrity take the place of Elon Musk instantly, like if you could immediately say like all of Elon Musk's worth goes into another person, but none of the IP makes it over the line. But you'd have like Kardashian, like a Kardashian future, or you'd have maybe like Disney, if Disney had the reins on the future, what would that look like? Oh man, that starts to get a little creepy, doesn't it? Or do they? Or do they already? Support sidecar. All those Tesla puts and calls may finally pay out. Yeah, that's not it's not impossible. And look, I know you like to play the markets. I know you like to game the system, but we don't do that in this stream. Okay, I got to keep this legit. Keanu Reeves makes Bill and Ted Future a reality. That's true. And then there's also the potential of like a Mike Judge Idiocracy. Ooh, God, it feels like that we're already kind of living that right now, doesn't it? I wouldn't mind having Keanu kind of in control. You know, the Keanu Reeves who's just like super nice. He like pays for everybody on the set to have houses, and he doesn't touch women when he does. Have you seen that where he his hand floats? He doesn't touch other people when he's having his picture taken with them, mostly for fear of future repercussions. But I think he's just all around a good dude, and he can do bullet time. So if anybody tried to shoot him as our future overlord or anything, he'd be able to survive. He's very flexible. Ooh, a Shia LaBeouf. Oh man, a Shia LaBeouf future. That would be pretty awesome. I think that guy is playing an elaborate 17-year prank on planet Earth, by the way. 17-year prank. Imagine if he was able to pull that off with a big budget. A giant performance art future, a la LaBeouf. Post Malone, a Post Malone future. Terrifying. Or maybe super chill. I don't know. You just kind of lay back and let it happen. Sasha Obama. Okay. Holtzman. Let's see. Bill Murray. Gee Whizmo. A Bill Murray future. Yeah, but the problem is that when you wake up the next day, it's the same day over and over again. That's not going anywhere. Dave on Base 32, Musk's board of directors votes in the Imagivate community as the new steward of Musk's projects. Interesting. That they just hand over the reins of the Muskian empire to Imagivate Live, and all of us become a sort of representative republic of the Muskian empire as we make all of the decisions for all of the companies through terrible ideas as we Imagivate together. That's a future I could sign up for. Imagivate Council of Elders. You guys ready for that? Are you ready to run the future with me in this stream? We can do it. We can totally do it. Who says we can't? It's not in my terms of service with Twitch. That might be a bit of a problem. So we might have to find our own platform. But once we're running we are Elon. We sort of assimilate into the brain trust that becomes Elon Musk. Guys, that's a real idea. I'm going to make a phone call today and see if they would be interested in having us do some pilot tests with the Elon Musk group of companies. The Borging Company. That's right. Forget about drilling. We assimilate all consciousness into an Imagivate pool of thinking. That's what we do here. Why not run the future of the world? All right. That's a great way to end the show. Folks, thanks for coming in. Thanks for starting another week with me. I will see you tomorrow morning. It's Whose Tagline Is It Any? Wednesday on Tuesday. This is Imagivate Live. I'm Troy Hitch, and we'll see you tomorrow. Catch that hope.
Catch that hoe. Catch that hoe. Catch that hoe. Catch that hoe. Catch that hoe.